Idea holding. I COILS 3D Pro Demo. Before you start using the software itself, make sure you configure your settings. Inside Settings, you can configure everything starting from language, where generated files will be stored, location of the templates necessary for the automation, rules connected to automation itself, to which parts of the coil will be created by the automation process, and much more. After you have configured settings to your liking, we can start creating a coil. For the process of creation itself, we have multiple options. We have an option to load previously created coil with all its information, or create a coil from scratch. Coil can be loaded from your local machine, where all the previously created coils are, by simply clicking Load Position, or it can be loaded from the database, if you want to load coil created by your colleague, or you just can't find the files locally. Coil can be created from scratch by providing its coil code that contains all the basic necessary information. Also, the process itself can start as an empty template, so providing coil code is not necessary. Process of the creation can also be executed via web software, but for now, we will stick to the inventor. We are going to generate one empty template and start from scratch. First, we are presented with General Info tab, with basic information about project naming and information like materials that are going to be used, geometry, number of tubes, rows and circuits, etc. After everything is configured, we can go to the Circuitation tab, where we have multiple options. We have two options to directly import circuitation in Inventor from circuitation standard models or from previously created coil with the same number of rows, tubes, and circuits. For the standard models, we also have a preview of circuitation. The second option is creating circuitation on the web. Since we are creating everything from scratch, let's go to the web and create circuitation. First, we are presented with an empty template for our circuitation. As of options, we can import automatic circuitation for current configuration. We can load previously created circuitations or manually draw circuitation ourselves. If desired circuitation does not fit the orientation of the coil template, we can simply rotate it so circuitation fits. It does not matter which geometry you use to save circuitation, as it can be applied to any geometry. When the template is oriented properly, we can click on Select and then Import. As you can see, inlet and outlet holes for standard models are automatically selected. But let's delete this and try to create one ourselves so we can use other features of the software. Drawing circuitation is as simple as clicking on the empty holes. When you are done with the current circuit, just click on any hole of the circuit and it will close it. In case of multiple circuits with the same structure, we can use copy and paste method to speed the process up. If you make a mistake, you can undo/redo the changes. By simply holding Alt and left-clicking on the circuit, software will mark it as ready for copying. After that, just clicking on the circuitation template will paste the circuit if it's possible. After we have drawn the circuitation, we need to set inlet and outlet holes for our circuitation. You can do that by clicking on Configure Inlet Outlet Holes button in the navigation. Now, by simply clicking on the holes, you mark them as inlets and outlets. First clicked hole of the circuit will be set to inlet, and the second one to outlet. Last part is configuring header groups. By holding Control and clicking on circuits, you are able to select them and group them by clicking on Group button. If you only have one header group, you can also use Select All feature and then Group. Now we are ready to go back to Inventor and continue our configuration. At the bottom of Circuitation tab, we have Check for Circuitation button that will tell us if circuitation is imported. Also, we can draw the circuitation to check if everything is fine. Next, we have Frame Info and Dimensions tabs. There we will configure remaining part of the data needed for automation, like housing connections, frame materials, frame, collector, and fin pack dimensions. Last part of the process is collector configuration. First, we set connection direction for the collector, and then we can generate headers. In our example, since we configured one header group, we will only have one header. We also have an option to draw 2D sketches of both collectors. By clicking on Set Edit Inlet Outlet, we get a collector configuration form. There, we can set everything from collector and connection materials and diameters to connection types and position parameters. After we configure both inlet and outlet collectors, our process of automation can start. Name of the JSON that you can load as shown at the beginning. Thank you for watching I COILS 3D Pro software demo.